Hello everybody, welcome to Auvbri. My name is Renee and today we're back here in The Sims 4 Vampires, the new game pack in The Sims 4, and we are building the sawmill bar. And I thought that this was really cool, so I took some inspiration from one of the builds that's already in the world here, and I tried to take an idea of the sawmill. So the lot that we're on is currently, you can kind of see it in the background sometimes when I turn, but the lot we're on is currently located right next to a lot of wood and timber and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what would be perfect for this lot would be a sawmill. And I started to build the sawmill here with just having in mind that, okay, so maybe I just need to have like a little bar area and that's kind of it. But the more we actually got into the builds and the more I started to really trying to tell a story with this build, the more I was just falling kind of in love with the whole build idea. And that is it when it actually turned into this sawmill kind of abandoned build idea, and I just thought it was super cool, and I was actually kind of loving the way that it turned out. So I started to create the sawmill here, and seeing that we had this all of this timber and like machinery next to it, you can kind of see it there. I was kind of taking a look at it, trying to see what can I actually do that would mimic this. So a sawmill just was perfect, but I started to construct the whole thing, and again I wanted it to look abandoned, so we needed to have some holes in the roofs. I needed to create the illusion that this place was kind of falling apart. I also needed to have like a chimney here. I was trying to figure out where I could put the chimney so that it would actually fit. And before we get it more into this build is all werewolves and base games. So if you only have those two packs, you can totally get this build. But I really love the whole industrial vibe, the whole idea of this abandoned sawmill just being turned into a kind of bar area hangout for the werewolves to use, and I just thought that was a really cool idea. So that's what we kind of did here. I wanted to have some more holes in the roofs and kind of create the illusion that there was some structural inconsistencies, that the whole build could actually go down within, like, if a giant wind blew it over, so to speak. So that was kind of the whole vibe that I was going for, and I also it was very important that I made it look like a sawmill. So I actually went into the lovely debug mode and the live edit mode to use a lot of the items that came with this pack, and I think the result was just so good in the end. Like, I really do believe that this was a sawmill, and I feel like I created the illusion of this just being a sawmill that people used to work at. Now it's just abandoned, and the werewolves just kind of came in because they needed a place to stay, and this is the place that they used to stay. And we put in all of this timber. I put in a lot of effort into making it look like it was abandoned, but there was just still some life on it, so the people of the town could kind of see that there was light up there, but nobody really questioned it because people were afraid. That's kind of the whole idea that I went with. So the big build here, I placed this huge motor thing. I thought it would kind of look like a wooden shredder, and then I found this one, like this conveyor belt for the timber, the wooden pieces to actually be, you know, carried up to the machine. I thought that was super cool and a good idea as well. And I just started to really play around with all of the live edit modes, and this build is just mostly actually me going into live edit and debug and trying to figure out which items can I use from here, like what actually makes sense. Will this item that I have here, can I use this in some way to actually convey the story of this whole lumber sawmill abandonment and try to really sell the story of this being a sawmill that was abandoned long ago and is now a hangout place, like a little bar area for the werewolves of the town. So that's kind of the whole story behind this, and it's just all about decoration and trying to make it look as if it's actually an old building. And I also feel like the lot here that we are building on is right next to an area that has a lot of timber. It's kind of like the build actually sells itself, like that it fits in so good with this one is kind of beyond me, but you know, it is what it is. And I think the whole idea of it all just really came together, and you're gonna see it in the end as well. I was putting in lights here, and the whole lighting situation in this game sometimes can be very frustrating. So for this build in particular, it was very bad. Like, it was just too harsh of a light. So I went in with the better build by mod and actually started to create some more soft lighting, more of this like yellow hue to it, and I think it turned out much better in the end. Also, we had like this list, seeing that this was actually a lot type that was a bar. I needed to fulfill the requirements of the lot. So I just went in here with some of the stuff is not in the werewolf pack, so I needed to go in with base game. Also, of course, needed to have a little toilet area. I did place a lot of the sex bushes around the place, but you know, they can only do so much. You cannot clean up in them. You can pee in them once and then you have to wait a little while because they get stinky. So I actually decided to put in a real toilet, a real little toilet area. And then the bar here, I thought that was a cool idea. The bar is upstairs and we can kind of see the walls are broken down. It's kind of like abandoned and it's falling apart a bit. And then the whole area, which this one I feel like would have been a place where all of the workers of the sawmill would come in and eat their lunch before going back to work, which would make sense with the little toilet area. That's kind of what I thought, and it was also a great place to put in the seating area that was required for the lot as well. The only thing that I wished I could actually put in was like a pool table, a little foosball table, anything of the sorts, but it wasn't in base game and it wasn't in the werewolf pack, so I couldn't actually put it in. We had these woodworking benches, which I thought was super cool and funny. So I put those in also just because it's a sawmill. So for me, it kind of made sense, but then again, it didn't, because why would there be a woodworking bench at a sawmill? Nobody knows, but nobody is questioning it. And I just thought that was really cool. And then we put in this punching bag thingy. Again, I don't know what they're called, but I don't know what they're called in Danish either. So it's not because I'm bad at English. I don't know what the word is for that particular item. And yeah, this is kind of the last thing. I feel like we're ready for the screenshots. So I wanted to show the different rooms here. I feel like it turned out super cool. I'm so happy with it, and I actually particularly chose to show the build at night because I feel the lighting, after I changed the color of the lights, just made the build look phenomenal. Like, it's definitely a vibe and you can see what it is. You're not, at least to me, you're not unsure of what this build is. It's a sawmill. That's it. You can see this wood like everywhere. This shot here is one of my favorites. And I really tried to create this whole build with a lot of, you know, just realism to it. So the build is ready on the gallery right now. If you want to get it, you just have to search my origin ID, which is Auvbri, and you should be able to find every single thing that I've done throughout the years. And leave a comment and a like and a subscribe and hit the notification bell here on the video. It helps me out a great big deal, and you will get notified every single time I upload or go live here on the channel. That's kind of it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Bye guys.